what was life like for you growing up?
Oh, very beginning. Okay, I
The
thought it
very
was
yep, yep.
okay, very beginning. Well, I need to start off by saying I'm a middle child. So I think I attribute a lot of my success to that, just because I'm relentless and I just have that middle child personality. My parents, like I grew up in Grove City for a small part of my life. My parents got divorced. My dad moved to the Hilltop. My mom moved to New Albany. Very polar opposite upbringing. If you're not familiar with those areas, that's the top of the top and the bottom of the bottom. Um, yeah, graduated high school at New Albany. Worked actually from freshman year until my senior year. I worked at Donato's. And then I applied to Capital University. I really wanted to play soccer. I still play soccer to this day. Absolutely love the game. But hindsight, I wish I would not have gone there to play soccer, just because they completely broke my bank. My college was on me. So after 3 semesters of attending Capital University, I was completely broke. I remember going to apply for a loan for Wells Fargo for the next semester, and they said no, and I was like, okay, I'll try somewhere else. And I think I went through 3 or 4 different avenues for lending, and I'm like, man, no one's giving me money. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I think at the time I made like $8.75 an hour working at Donato's as a manager. Like, I was not making money. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, that's kind of the start of it. There's more to it, but I'll let you interject there if you
Yeah,
have any
no, so did you play soccer then in college?
other. Yeah, I mean, I was on the team and I played a little bit. Yeah, so I played, but I didn't play, if that makes sense.
So
Um,
did you end up graduating or switching and going
yeah, so
to a different school?
so that semester I had a come to Jesus moment, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I make the joke about how I had the choice to either become a stripper or join the army, and I did the more degrading of the two, and I joined the army. So I joined the army, the Ohio Army National Guard, as a generator mechanic, and then went through training, and then in 2012 ended up going back to Ohio State. Ended up receiving my degree from there. Compliments of the Ohio Army National Guard. Thanks, Uncle Sam. And thank everyone for their tax dollars.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, ended up graduating from Ohio State. I actually got married very young, which is something I wanted to touch on, because I think sometimes, like, my professional career and my personal life are incredibly intertwined.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people's are, but sometimes they try to segment, which is probably harder than not.
Yeah.
Um, so I actually got married very young. I was 21 when I got married, and I was married while I was going to Ohio State. My ex and I started a marketing business. We marketed for physical medicine centers, made a very good living doing that. So I was like, oh, who cares about a degree? I'm going to get a degree in sexuality studies, which was incredibly fun. I loved it. It was great. However, I got the degree in sexuality studies, but I had 1 semester left. So I was like, oh, I really love real estate. My ex and I were going to use a real estate license in order to, like, invest, essentially. So I was
Sure,
like, oh, I'll go
sure.
ahead and I'll get my license and we'll go from there. Um, but um, but yeah, so I did end up getting a degree. Yes, not anything significant, but
No, I mean, this is why I always love starting from the beginning because, looking back and I found as I talk to agents that a lot of times we don't take time to actually reflect on that journey.
yeah,
There's pivotal moments, pivotal decisions that are being made that obviously we don't know back then, the impact it will have, in the future. But,
right.
taking that time to reflect on those things. So for the business that you had in the marketing side of things, so what exactly were you marketing?
It was physical medicine center services, or services for physical medicine centers. So I basically would connect with local businesses, and offer them like lunch and learns, free massages, offer to come to their health fairs, and obviously give out free stuff. Um, just make connections. That sounds much more glamorous than it was. 100%, like 100% of my time was spent on the phone, on the computer, like just trying to get in the door to places like that. Like we did, I mean, we did things with like Cardinal Health and like really big companies around Columbus. Um, but we basically just got in the door and said, hey, if you're experiencing any pain, which anyone in the workplace, when you're sitting for 8 to 10 hours a day, you're
Right.
experiencing some type of pain. So we gave them free consultations and they were able to come in and get treated at the clinics. So
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. So it taught you phone skills, right?
Oh my gosh.
Conversation skills.
I am so grateful for that like experience, mainly because for a couple things, yes, what you just said about phone skills, but also it made me almost like impervious to the word no. Like
Yeah.
like when people would reject me, I mean it really hurt in the beginning and I took it personally and I would get defeated. However, then I was like, okay, well, why is there a no? Like, why do you not understand what we're providing? Do you not, are your values not aligning? Like, what is the reason you're giving a no? And a lot of times when I would figure out the root of that no, I would actually be able to convert it to a yes. Um,
Mm.
so it built those skills up tremendously, which I mean, I definitely use that in my day to day work as an agent.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Megan, because I think there's really three ways to grow your business, right? It's you can put more time and effort into it. You can increase your resources. That could be money, that could be people, that could be systems, that could be processes, whatever, right? And the third way is that you can increase your skill set.
Mm,
What was it for you that was it trainings that you went to? Was it conferences that really made you want to deep dive into the no? Because that's as humans, right? None of us love to be rejected or be told no or whatever. But in our line of work, and sounds like similar to that, and obviously today in what you do, there are way more no's than the yeses that we're ever going to have.
right,
We don't get that many wins in our
right.
business. Now, the wins that we get, we're lucky that they are larger, right? With pay and all of those things. But like what was it for you? Was it resources? Was it trainings? Was it conferences that really made you want to do a deep dive into, okay, if I can understand, if I get all of these no's and I can truly understand why they're telling me no, is it a surface level no? Or is it just like a deeper motivational reason why they're telling me no?
So I guess there's so the reason why I started with marketing, like why I shifted that mindset was basically, I mean, I can't really take credit for it. I think it was just one of those things where I was extremely money motivated and I'm like, I'm not making money. So I need to figure out how to do that. And then I'm just a very relational person. I like to, well, I'm relational, but on a little tangent, I also love to figure out how people tick.
Mm,
So I've read a lot of books as far as I'm going into like the human psyche, sociology, psychology. I've read a lot of books that I'm like, oh, these are like, have you heard of the book How We Decide?
no.
It's basically a book based on like how people make snap decisions. It's a great book, very easy read. Um, but that I remember reading that book and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm taking these things personal when I have to remember. I mean, as humans, we feel like we're in our own bubble. Like we think that the world's
Right.
about us and like, oh, people hate me. That's why they're saying no. But I mean, as far as real estate, they're not selling their house because they have kids in school. They have jobs here in town that are close. It's a short commute. Like there's so many other reasons why they're saying no than just because of who you are.